whole family.
Yeah. We've got a really supportive group of parents all around. Really, really appreciate it.
Well, we're about out of time here. We had some calls. Sorry we couldn't take your call, and I want to thank you, Coach Lamb, for coming in. All you girls for coming in, and
thank you.
You've been watching the Locker Room Chat, and we'll see you next week.
Let's go fishing. You know it's really great. Let's go fishing. In the rivers and on the lakes. Let's go fishing. It's easy when you try. Floating on the water with good old Steve and Mike. Floating on the water with good old Steve and Mike.
Hey, good evening, folks. Welcome to the Let's Go Fishing Show. And Mike, we're glad to have everybody.
We sure are. Sure are, man.
Yeah, want to thank all those folks that are watching the show, and we appreciate you sticking with us and continue to watch and let us know that you are watching. And it's just a pleasure, you know, of how many people we've bumped into. Man, we enjoy watching your show. Well, you know, it makes us feel good at the time, but I tell you what, Mike, we've had 2 big boo-boos this past week.
Yeah. Yeah, you got that right.
Yeah. And before I do that, I want to say hello to Dad, to Bill, Mike Pennington. I know they're watching, and be good. So, boo-boo number 1. Sent my boat, or getting some things checked on it there, and wound up all my baits got gone, and didn't get to bring any with me.
Yes.
And so then Mike, you can tell about your boo-boo.
Yeah, I was fooling with the camera there and charging it up and stuff, and got to clicking around on it. Next thing I know, I'd erased my film that I got Sunday. After me and you went to Dale Holler on Saturday, and then I went down to Watch Bar on Sunday and had a good day. It's a little windy, but had a good day. Caught a lot of crappie, and brought home 10 nice ones. And of course, I guess you enjoyed them if you've cooked them yet.
Well, I haven't cooked them yet.
You ain't cooked them yet?
I'm sure he put them in the freezer.
Okay, but anyway, got to fool around with that camera, and then somehow or another I erased the whole thing.
Yeah.
So
I'm telling you.
20 minutes of film and it's gone.
Yeah. Yeah, buddy, we sure needed it because we didn't do anything at Dale Holler. I'm telling you, we caught, I caught 2 fish. I caught a largemouth coming out of the boat dock there, about a 2.5 pounds, and it was 3 o'clock that afternoon before I got another bite.
Yeah, I don't think I had a bite all day.
No, you didn't have a bite all day.
Changed several baits and stuff, and I think Max and Bill's, I think he said they caught 2 or 3 or something
4.
like
He said they caught 4.
Ended up with 4, and
Yeah.
then had a couple that pulled off or broke off or something there, but they wasn't doing all that good either. They said them fish wasn't biting.
Yeah, they'd been having some pretty good catches down there in the last 3 or 4 days last week, and so we decided we'd run down there Saturday morning and didn't have to work, and we took off there, left my house about 5:30, got down there and got in the water, and you know, we knew what they were catching the fish on, and so we idled out through there and fished a couple of spots there in the creek there at the boat dock, and got up on one of the points there and caught that largemouth, and fished another spot or 2 in the creek and didn't get a bite, and I said, well, let's go. And so we run out of there and run over on the place, and I mean, you know, we didn't, like I said, we were from 8 o'clock to 3 o'clock before we got that second bite.
Yes, sir. Yes.
And got that second bite there, or caught that smallmouth, and on the point over there across from from the marina, and we come to the house.
Come to the house.
Yeah, I told Mike, I said, we all be ashamed of ourselves leaving before dark. There was no excuse for that. You know, we cheated ourselves out of about 2.5, 3 hours of fishing. They could have just, you know, we could have got on a boatload of them there, 2.5, 3 hours.
Yes, for sure.
I mean,
for sure.
we should have stayed, you know, and I think what was going on, we were right in the middle of colored water and clear water. The farther down the lake we went from Star Point, the clearer the water got.
It sure did.
And so as we came, you know, in the Star Point area, across from Star Point and kind of up the lake a mile or so, the water you could tell. And then when you got up to, when we crossed the bridge there at Sunset Bridge on 111, it's good, you know, it was perfect stained water.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I think we were just on the wrong end of the totem pole there. That water at the bridge, you know, which was upstream for, I don't know, what, about 4 or 5 miles up there from Star Point to...
I think the sign says 6 miles.
6 miles, yeah. So, you know, shucks, we were just right in the middle of either the colored water or the clear water. And we should have been on one spectrum or the other, all the way up in the dingy water or all the way down in the clear.
Mm-hmm.
And might have made a difference, I don't know. But them guys, the people that we know that come up there and fish, Billy Joe Tolliver and David Duvall, Davis from down Manchester, Billy Joe's from over here at Morristown, and then we got Bill and Max there. I mean, you know, we got a pretty good info
Yes, sir.
of what's going on, and but we just couldn't make it happen down there Saturday. We'll be back.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, we'll be back. It's definitely for a fact the water temperature is 44.4, somewhere along in there. But you know, that we were told before that Max and Bill had caught some good fish, you know, the couple of days before. I think they got down there either on Sunday afternoon, fished Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and had some pretty good catches, you know, and so we thought we'd go down there and try our luck, but that didn't work out. But we will get back down there, and
Hope to, anyway.
yeah, we hope to get back down there. One more little bit of information before we take a break. Talked to Mike Jolly out in Crossville today. Trying to get a time set up for him to come over and talk to us about the stocking program, you know, walleye in Emory and the Clinch and up to Tennessee and around what they're doing with the walleye, just anything about the fishing. And
Yeah, he's a TWRA biologist.
yeah, the TWRA biologist here in Region 4, and you know, I'm going to try to get a wildlife officer out here to tell us about the, because Mike can't do this. You know, he's into the stocking and fish populations and that kind of thing. So I was hoping maybe I could get one of them to come that could tell us about the license, what, you know, to expect, and about some boat ramp repairs, who's responsible for what. Mm-hmm. Just any kind of good information to pass along to you all. So I'm still trying to get that worked out, but I do know Mike, I told him just pick the Thursday that he thought he could be here, and let me know back and we'd be ready.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's, you know, we hadn't had one of those guys on in shucks, I don't know, 3 or 4 years, I guess, maybe longer. And we had heck, the gentleman in Region 4, and it's Region 3 out here at Crossville, and Region 4 is up in Morristown. And I've got his card. I'll have to look that up. And but anyway, like I said, Mike is going to give us a shout, and whenever he can make the trip over and be with us one Thursday night for a little while, fill us in on what's going on.
Be good. Be real good.
Yeah, for sure. All right. I'm about tired of mumbling.
Well, you take a break now. Get me something to drink.
Yeah, okay. Take it to a break, Dylan. Okay. Hey, folks, here at Tim's Tires, there's the times that they're open. The day, that's 5 days a week. They're open from 8 to 12:30 on Saturdays. All right, folks, we're inside here in the warehouse. Just wanted to give you a quick look at all the tires and stuff they got. And here we are. There's some four-wheeler tires, lawnmower tires, just a mixture of about any kind of tire you want. So keep that in mind. Then here we get into the light truck, automobiles, that kind of thing. So just walk through here and give you a quick look at what they've got in stock here. I mean, it's it's just, I don't know, man. They must be a couple of thousand tires in here right now, if not more. Sizes, shapes. You truckers, you know the word. This is the place to get your tires for your trucks. And these over here, getting a little bigger sizes, light trucks, heavier automobiles, this kind of thing. And as you can just see back through there, it's just, heck, I don't know, this building's probably about 300 feet, one end to the other, and they're wall to wall. Remember Tim's Tires, folks. That's down here on Highway 27 on your way into Harriman, and get the best deals they're going. So give them a call, price check, whatever you want to, and if you want a special tire that they might not have, you could, they'll definitely get it for you. Tim's Tires. Let people know what we represent.
That's what we're all about. We do try to do an honest day's work for the people, and we've got operators from all over the DOE sites, TDA sites, the outside contractors. We're just about everywhere you see a heavy piece of equipment, good chance that you'll see an operating engineer on it, rather it be Barnhard. I'd like to mention them, All Crane, and all of them that's signatory to us. We have over 100 contractors that's signatory to us, so I definitely appreciate those guys all the way in Chattanooga, Kingsport, Tullahoma, throughout all the way up to Johnson City. So we do cover a big area, and just let us know if we can be any help to local contractors that come through these areas. We'll definitely send you some people.
All right, David. I appreciate all those good words, and we'll get this on the air, and I want to thank you again.
Thank you.
All right. All right, Mike, you're back.
Yeah, I'm back.
So anyway, one of our viewers and good friend of ours, Mike Pennington down Harriman Way, called me today, and he's interested in that trolling motor you got, how it's doing, how it's performing, and all that kind of stuff. So he wanted you to talk about that. And then the other thing he wanted you to talk about was deflating these crappie.
Yeah.
So I'm going to let you get busy there with either one. You want to do the trolling motor thing first?
We can. Okay.
Okay, Dylan, have you got Mike's camera ready? All right, play that on his trolling motor, and then he can talk about it. And the name of the trolling motor is a what?
It's a motor guy.
Oh,
Altera.
it's Minn Kota.
Minn Kota, yeah.
Yeah, Minn Kota.
Minn Kota Altera. Yeah.
Okay.
The one that took off was the one.
Yeah. There it is.
Okay, folks. This is the trolling motor that I got, the Altera Minn Kota. It's got the self-deploy on it. Show you the remote that come with it here. Hit the house button, hit the thing over here, check button, and then lights up the deploy right there, and just dump it in the water, and there it goes. All right, got a paddle over there, and turn the paddle on. It's got the same features on the paddle. The steering's a little bit harder to get used to. If you want to bring it over on trim, and well, there's the trim. Raise it up and down, shallow water, whatever. A lot of different features to it. Main thing is to be able to put it up or down whenever you want to. So, like I say, you can either use the remote or use the paddle and do the same thing with it. And like I say, the electric steering is a little bit hard to get used to, but it's got a lot of features that constant stuff, and then you can set it to go the direction you want it to go, and it'll stay on that course. So anyway, I'm pretty tickled with it. As far as being by myself, and when you get to where you're going, you can hit the button, and the time you get up on the front, it's done in the water and ready to go. And it has got the spot lock features, or the anchor button as they call it. You can either do all these features on the paddle or do them on the remote, so it'll hold you pretty close to wherever you stop at there if you put it on the anchor button, and call it back to you when you want to. But anyway, we'll just keep after it, and so far I can say it's okay. So like I say, it's hard to get used to that electronic steering, but it just don't work like the old cable job. So anyway, that's the best I can tell you about the Altera.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mike. Should have brought you remote.
Well, yeah, had a pretty good picture of it there. They got two remotes out. You can opt to one of them others. It's more like the phone there, flat screen job. I think it's a touch job too.
Mm-hmm.
Screen on it or something. But the one I got, the remote, it works okay for what I wanted to do. And the main thing I wanted was being by myself was to back up and put the boat in the water, and deploy the motor and take it out there, and lock it down where I could go park the truck and didn't have to worry about dragging it on the bank or beating it to death on the dock or anything. When I got the truck parked, and I come back and pull the boat up there to me, bring it back to me, and get in it and go, you know, and which makes a big difference. And what the old style was had to tie the rope onto the back of the trailer and off of the front and back in there and dump the boat out and then pull the trailer about halfway out of the water and walk back down there and pull the rope and pull the boat back up to me, and then had to go out and tie it up somewhere or pull it up to the bank or whatever, and makes things a whole lot more simpler. And plus that dragging the motor in and out of the water, of course, most of you more newer models now has got that assist jack inside of it that where it ain't near as heavy about pulling it up and down and all that, you know.
Right.
Which helps a lot on some of them. But anyway, the only thing that I had trouble with it one time, and I called over and talked to the repairman, and he told me what process to go through to relearn where it's at. It had lost its memory. And so I went through that process and turned it off, turned it on, run it up and down, and done this and done that to it, and then it started working and ain't quit since. I put a plate down there, cut that out, and put that aluminum plate down there and used the same holes that I already had in the boat. And then mounted the quick change plate, they call it, that I bought from them, mounted it to that plate. And the only problem I got now is they should have put that plug in off of the transducer cable. They ought to put a plug in right there next to the motor like they do the control cable, because the control cable's got a plug in right there. If they had put a plug in there, then you could have unplugged both of them and slid the motor off and took it to the repair shop if you needed to, or whatever, you know. And the way it is now, then you got to go all the way in, take the depth finder out and unhook it from the depth finder to be able to get the motor off of the boat. That's the only problem. Now the paddle, like I say, I built a block to set it on to get it up there to get it more comfortable for me, since I sit down all the time instead of standing up, and getting used to that steering. It's like touching this button and that button, and it's back and forth, you know, and trying to control it, and you can slowly get used to what you're doing on it, but you ain't got no memory like you did with the old cable jobs, where you knowed where your foot was at, which way the motor was headed.
Right.
And you really don't know without looking at the motor. Where you're going and stuff. But as far as performance of the motor, you know, I can't really tell any difference in the power. I think the motor guide was 84, and this is 80 pound of thrust, so you know you don't see that much difference in that. But the main thing is that spot lock or anchor button, as they call it there, where when you find your spot that you want to be on out there, or you heading into a wind or something, you lock it down and you don't have to worry about getting blowed off half a mile down the river while you're trying to get your fish off, or get your baits untangled or whatever, and get another minnow on, and then you got to go find your location again, you know. Get back on your spot, and it helps real good on that. And it's got a navigation thing. It's got the pod mounted up there in the front, and if you set your direction there you want to go, point your motor in that direction, and just mash that button, and it'll just go up through there at a constant, whatever speed you put it on, it'll stay right on that course that you aim it toward. And if you're going across a holler or something and you want to get down and do something while you're going across or something, and you just head it across there and hit the button, and you can get down the bottom of the boat or whatever you need to do, and come back up, and it's still headed right straight where you aimed it, you know.
Yeah.
And stuff. So there's a lot of features to it that I ain't even got into yet, but you know, it's pretty good motor, I think. We'll see if we have how long this thing holds up. You know, that other motor I had there, it was 10-year-old.
Yeah.
You know, it's been a pretty good motor. I've had to
Okay.
get it fixed a couple of times for it to seal on the back of it where it wore out and got water in it.
Yeah. All right. Hello, caller.
Hey, Steve and Mike.
Yeah. Yeah. How about it, Brother Mike?
Hey, I wanted to ask Mike if he got that with the standard. I've lost thought train there.
Go ahead.
When you got that thing, you had to get a cable for whichever depth finder you had to match it, didn't you?
Yeah, it comes standard out so far, and then like 8 or 10 foot out of the motor, and then you add that little adapter cable, which wasn't but about a foot long, that plugged into that, and then it plugged into your unit. So you know
Your
they
Lowrance unit.
Yeah, Lowrance unit. Depending on what unit you want, they send you that little old cable to trade it over.
Well, did you leave the standard transducer in it, or did you have it changed out to a DI or SI transducer?
No, it comes in built into the motor. There's I think 3 different versions of what transducer you want on it, but then if you go with Humminbird or something, then you got a whole different thing there. You can get the down scans and all this other stuff to hook up, which that's pretty much what they deal with is the Humminbird stuff. But you know, they got that different auxiliary thing that you can hook up to your transducer.
I've looked a little bit about some of the troubleshootings on the YouTube, you know, and they've showed a little bit here and there, and looks like they've got a lot of the bugs worked out over the years.
Yeah.
But they tell me that thing is pretty sensitive on the voltage. Have you had any problem with the voltage going down on it?
No, but he seemed to think that could have been what made that thing act up on me down there, because I shut it off and then got it back running. But the problem was when I put it to try to stow it back up, it wanted to turn a different direction than what it was before, so I had to cut it off and bring it up by hand or turn it the right way to get it to lay down. And called him and talked to him, and he said it lost its memory for some reason, and said double check all the connections and stuff. He said if that thing loses its memory, then you got to reset it again.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, I troll a whole lot, and that was my concern, was about, you know, once you get 6-7 hours trolling and you lose a little bit of voltage, you know, was you going to have enough power to store it and everything? That's what I was kind of concerned about, because I'm looking at one of them, and I think it's a pretty good deal.
Yeah. Well, I've been with Mike twice since he put it on there, and I'm, you know, kind of impressed. I did get up on the front of the boat a time or two. He's, you know, getting used to that pedal on a direction if you're actually running the thing. Now, the thing that a lot of these guys are doing is, you know, with these contour lines, they just track that thing on that contour line, and once you learn how to set that thing up, then it just follows that contour line, which pretty much, if you'll look at your map, when you set it on the contour line, it change. You know, if it goes to a steeper terrain on the bottom of the lake, that contour line will move in, and so you're actually following the depth of whatever contour line you set it on. You know, the way I got it envisioned. But anyway, I was talking to a guy today, or back to Mike's trolling motor. You know, like I said, I'm impressed with it. It's just getting used to that paddle. You know, it is. There's no restriction, and you know you're going right to left, beep beep beep, just by keeping your foot on the paddle a whole lot. And So it takes a little bit of time to get used to, what that thing's doing.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate the info. Appreciate the video on it. I didn't fish this week, but I had a buddy fish yesterday. Said he had 10 good keepers, and they were trolling at about 16 foot of water is what they were doing.
Yeah. Well, now I'm going to break your heart right here in just in a second. I done told Mike. I talked to a guy at work yesterday, and they were on Chickamauga, and they caught over 60 crappie, and he had, they throwed a whole bunch of nice ones back and kept, there was 2 of them in the boat, and they kept their 30. But he said it was just, and you ain't gonna believe this, but they caught them in 3 to 4 foot of water with a little old floater that wasn't no bigger than a nickel.
A grub.
And a Bobby Garland grub.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're just throwing that in treetops, I'd say.
Yeah, I didn't, he told me that, and I said, what was you catching them around that grass? He said, no. So, which, the grass is probably all dead right now, but most of it. But anyway, no, he was catching them in there in that shout in 3 to 4 foot of water. Go ahead, Mike.
We had those 3 real good days, and I'm sure that brought them up pretty shallow.
Yeah, they were down there this past Saturday, and just caught a bunch of them, but they could only keep the 30, and that's what they done. There was 2 of them in the boat, and he showed me some pictures. Man, he had some nice ones, and they were right there around the mouth of that Hiwassee River.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I appreciate everything. I'll let y'all get back to the show there, and we'll see you later then.
All right, Brother Mike. Now, what about the deflating these crappie?
Yeah, there's a lot of people that don't have any idea about that, and I've had people ask me what you've been talking about, and of course I'd show them.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, maybe more people will be watching the show, and you'll be able to show them a little bit more about that.
Yeah. He does it, and it works.
So you hear what's going on. When you clean one, you'll see that swim bladder, as they call it, behind his stomach right there. There'll be a hollow spot in this section right here under his rib cage. And they pressurize that the deeper they go. And when you bring them up, that pressure in there pushes their stomach out their mouth. And on some of them, they die before you ever get them up. And it does it on all fish too, not just the crappie, but the bass too. But in that bladder, when you get them up, they can't go back down because of the pressure. So I take that needle and go right in this area right here between these 2 fins and come underneath the scales and stick it right in right there, and that lets that pressure off of them. Then they can take off back down. But if you don't
I've had to do some bass like that with,
Yes, sir.
catch 30, 40, 50 feet deep, and then bass would be the same way.
Yeah, I've seen them with their eyeballs sticking out and their stomach plumb out their mouth where you catch them so deep and stuff if they come up too fast. But they say the bass, they do better by going all the way to the back of their stomach and punching a hole through it into their bladder and letting the air pressure off. But instead of poking the hole through the side of them. But if you have to come from the back toward the front to get under the scales and just slide it under there and let it out.
Well, maybe that'll help some of the people that has asked me how to do that, and I've showed them, but I thought, well, maybe on the air be a lot more people watching. Yeah. But I'll let y'all get back to the show. Appreciate everything. Need something, holler at me.
All right, buddy. Good to hear from you. All right.
Next time I get to clean one, I'll cut off half of it and film that part of the crappie, and so you can see where the air bladder's at there in them, and to let the air out of them.
Yeah, because you don't want to miss it. You want to make sure you're in the right spot and
Yes, sir.
That kind of stuff. So you done good. You done good. That's was that the you know, the thing about like I said, about these trolling motors anymore is, you got, you know, you can hook that thing up on your depth finder. You got the side scan, down scan, contour. I mean, they're just unlimited of what these things will do. Now, I'm going to tell you what the guy told me today, talking to that same feller. That anyway, he's got 2 9s on the dash, a 9 up front, and a 12 in the Garmin for his down scan. And he said, I'm going to tell you what. He said, if you know, what you'll have to do is get you I forgot what he called it, but the Garmin, when you take all that electronics, we're getting back to just exactly what Mike was talking about on the batteries getting weak. Did it cause your trolling motor mess up? Well, the feller told me that he had that same problem with it when, you know, we had the 2 9s and a 9 up front and a 12 up front, and he said you'll wind up with another battery in your boat just right off the get-go.
Yeah, that's right.
Because he said when that thing starts, it's got a beeper on it on the Garmin that and they use it for the side scan and or the spot, what they call it,
Spot lock or
it's
anchor or whatever.
Yeah, well, this is for the fish.
Locating.
And they made them a bracket and hooked it onto their trolling motor shaft, and then, you know, as they're going up through here swinging that thing back and forth, you know.
Live scope.
Live scope. That's exactly what it is. Then they find them fish, you know, and but he says, you know, that all that electronics. He said you better have he said you wind up with another battery in your boat.
Yes,
just for that. Actually, for that one live scope depth finder. He said them 2 on the dash don't pull nothing. That third one up on the front don't pull much, but said that live scope said it likes that battery power.
Yes, sir.
And when it goes out, and you know, everything kind of goes haywire. But he says he's got an alarm on there that kind of tells you, you know, that
battery's getting weak.
Battery's getting weak. Yeah. So he says, you know, right off the get-go, you got to go get you a new battery.
The trolling motors, about all of them that's got motor system with electronic steer and everything, about all of them's gone to that. With the spot lock and all that stuff, you know. So, you know, you pretty much going to have to get away from the cable thing if you go with one of them motors with that spot lock on it and stuff. So, you know, you might as well get used to it because it's the thing coming.
Well, it's, you know, that's the thing. I mean, it's, I mean, you know, all these guys, the younger fishermen, you know, they grew up with all these computers and stuff, and that's the reason we're so hesitant about investing in one of them or any of the new electronic stuff, is because it's a new learning process. You know, you got to figure it out. And you took the first step with that trolling motor that you've got, you know, type situation. But yeah, heck. And here's the thing: if you want to compete in today's world, in the bass fishing tournaments, you better have it.
Yes, sir.
You got to have all of this down scan, side scan, and what was the other one there we just mentioned? Live scope. You got to have it.
That's Garmin. Now Lowrance has come up with one that that they've been talking about for years. You know, from what I've heard, it don't show as good as the Garmin. I don't know. But,
well, that was one thing that the gentleman I was talking to, he said, you know, how was it? He said they got the 12-inch has got a better picture than the other sizes. That's what he said. It said that 12 has got the best picture. After looking at a 9 or an 8 and then a 15, he said the 12 has got the best picture. And so, you know, I've been picking for information myself, trying to figure out which way I'd want to go, you know. So anyway, a lot of stuff out there, a lot of stuff to look at. And,
well, I hadn't been able to get my down scan on that 9 to show as good as what it did on the 8.
Yeah.
And the transducer's mounted in the same spot, you know, and everything. But, you know, I don't know what it is about it, but it just don't show the stuff as clear as what that 8 did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember when you had the 8 on there. It showed good. Sure did.
Stuff, so, you know, that 12 may be one of them deals that got the right stuff in it to make it show up a clearer picture than what it was.
Right. Okay, Dylan, take us to a break, will you, buddy? Hey, folks, here at Edgemore Outdoors, we're going to run inside and shoot some film. Don't forget Edgemore Outdoors over here on Edgemore Road. Hey, folks, we're in here at Edgemore Outdoors. Man, the place has been packed with people. The reason being because this is the best sporting goods store this side of the Mississippi River. So if you want to get in here and get you something, you better come by. See Jim and Vance and Jeannie here at the Edgemore Outdoors. They've got everything you might need to fish with, whether it be from a boat or from the bank or whatever. Rods, reels, the walls are lined with baits, tackle. I mean, just great store. Jim's been a sponsor of the show for a long time, and we really appreciate him and his family. And but do get by here and visit with them at Edgemore Outdoors. Live bait, just everything in the world. We'll just take a little quick stroll down through here. Jim said he was tired of seeing Vance on the TV every Thursday night, so he wanted me to get somebody besides him. I'll take that back. He didn't say that, but I thought about it. All right, Vance, what kind of special you got for us today?
Got all kinds of specials in here today.
Got all kinds of specials today. Anything in particular? Got a good sale on reels, rods?
We got some, we've been selling a bunch of these Corrados and Shimano SLX reels with the digital chips in them here lately.
Mm-hmm.
We got them in right and left. And
okay.
We got a few of them right now, but it's a good reel. One of them's $189.99 and the other one's $249.99.
That's guaranteed not to backlash, is that right?
Well, you need to set the reel correctly, but when you set the reel right, it is really hard to backlash them. It works really well. We tested them when they come out to make sure that everything worked good. We got them.
Okay.
And they've been going good for us here.
Good deal, Vance. And that price on that's what?
There's one of them is $189.99 and the other one's $249.99.
All right. All right, Vance, we appreciate it. Folks, do get by here and visit Edgemore Outdoors. Can't go wrong. I think you'll be well satisfied once you come in the door. Yep. All right, we're back. Let's see, Mike. There was something else I wanted to mention while we were talking about the trolling motors and stuff. Oh yeah, Dylan, put those pictures up of that bullet boat that we had last week before. There we go. There we go. Yeah, I just wanted to, talking with Glenn at Reynolds Racing and Marine, that boat right there is in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
According to Glenn. He said to be a 99 model.
Yeah. 22-year-old boat?
Yeah, he said it's been taken, it's been pretty well taken care of. And so if you're looking for a good used boat, get by down there and check that thing out. He thinks it's in pretty good shape. And but do go by and look at that. He's got a 20-footer of the Express that he's got down there. He'd like to make a good deal on that, he said. It's center console, camo color. You throw your gear in the thing, go out there on the lake somewhere or whatever, and there's a lot of people hunt Thief Neck Island, for deer, and you do the same with this boat. And if you want to go catfishing or whatever, anyway, it's just grab your water hose when you get back home, spray her out, and ready to go again. Nice looking boat, like I said, it's camo colored, and check with him on that. And I think he's got one more of the high school special boats left.
Express,
and 115 Yamaha. But do check if you're interested in that. In this high school thing with the kids, they got a starter boat down there, and so go by and check with Reynolds Racing and Marine if you're looking for an engine for your older boat. You want to repair your boat that you got with grade up, step up with the bigger horsepower, or just plain old warranty. He's the guy you need to talk to. He's the Mercury representative for repairing in our area. So need to check that out. But do stop by and look at what he's got, and if you'd like to order something, the sooner the better. It's Reynolds Racing Marine. We really appreciate Glenn being a sponsor of the show. Let's see, Mike. So we got all that taken care of. Gibbons Creations. Don't forget about the young lady that's done the decals for us that we've showed here on the show. Don't forget, if you got something that she might could do for you, don't forget that phone number. Give her a call, and we're still getting decals from her, and they're doing a fine job. All righty. Let's see, Mike, what else have you got?
Well, the fish I caught over the weekend are down there, they was still in the same place, about 38 to 40 foot deep, and water temperature is 43 degrees, and I was down on toward the lower end. The water was a little cleaner. It's kind of like Dale Holler. So where he fished at down Chickamauga, he may have been dingy water or whatever, but they're subject to change like that and move up. Weather change, warm up a little bit in them shallows. They run to them in a hurry if the minnows is there.
Well, I think we're getting real close to being time. I think the key to it is start out shallow and work your way deeper. And we may not been fishing shallow enough. If Sam and them's catching them 3 to 4 foot of water, and on a little old floater, that Bobby Garland, it's like a floating fly situation.
Well, I don't know whether it's what you're using or what, because we was down there a few years back, me and Brad, and we was bass fishing, and that guy went back in that little old pocket, and they must have been 10 or 12 people standing around on the banks, and any direction he throwed, he was catching the heck out of them, and them people was running around like crazy trying to throw across his line and everything else, and they couldn't catch a thing, but he was catching just about every throw.
Yeah. Well, whenever you go back, Mike, try it in there 3 or 4 or 5 foot of water first, and then move out there in 43 foot.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Folks, listen, it's about time for us to get out of here. do be safe on the water. Don't forget your fishing license. They're coming up. You know, got to renew them here at the end of the month, and you don't want to get caught without them. God bless you all. Stay tuned next week. We'll see you then.
Country Fresh Foods. You may not know the name, but you definitely know the taste. Our homemade fudge is shipped all over the country. Its quality is unmatched, and it's made right here in Oliver Springs. But you don't have to travel all over to enjoy it. You can get it right here at our retail store. Pamela Ann's Fudge, Candy, and Gifts. The highest quality fudge in a countless variety of flavors. And we also carry a variety of candy and unique gifts for you to enjoy. Come enjoy the taste you have loved for years at Pamela Ann's Fudge, Candy, and Gifts in Oliver Springs, a division of Country Fresh Foods.
Life is made of moments. Moments to share. Moments that are special. And those that are everyday. How do we meet these moments for over 2 million people across 23 counties in East Tennessee? We will meet them not as just a group of hospitals, but as one community of care. Because this is about you, and it's about time. Covenant Health. For every moment.
Hey folks, I'm here at Reynolds Racing and Marine, 620 Ray Street here in Kingston. Got Mr. Glenn. Glenn, tell us about this beautiful Bullet boat sitting here.
Okay, this is the latest deal. It's called SST. It's 21 foot long. Has a lot of key features inside. It's got three coolers, so you keep your beverages plenty cool. Got a little wider front end up front. And it's got the recessed foot pedal for the new spot lock trolling motors that I'm going to try to sell Steve one.
Yes, sir.
And it's a pretty silver and red.
Boy, it's beautiful. It really is.
Got the new 250R.
250R on that thing, folks. Man, this thing looks sharp.
That's just one boat. Of course, we got it in the background here.
Yeah.
We've got several side-by-sides.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And then
there's the big 5-seater. That's a 5-seater. Man. Dadgone it, Glenn.
Got a lot of side-by-sides.
Yes, sir.
And then we've got, of course, this is
Allison.
This is Allison Color Pro Series.
Yeah.
It's called a Pro Elite.
Pro Elite, okay.
And it's got, I guess here is some of the, you can get this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man. Got a TV screen in the front.
Yeah. And then it raises it up. It's called an E-pad.
Right.
And Allison has a patent on this, I think. And you can raise it up where you can, if you're a tall guy, you can still see
it. Yeah,
so
yeah.
That's sort of unique. And then, of course, we've got the Allisons and the Bullets on this side.
Right. Oh, man. We've got the twin yellows here, don't we?
Got the twin yellows. One's yellow and white, one's yellow and black. This one will be in Mercury's brochure. I went down and made some pictures at Joe River Lake, and it should be coming up pretty soon in the brochure.
Right, right.
And, of course, it has the E-pad, it has the spot lock. I call it Ultrex.
Right.
Now, this is called a 21 RDC. It's a raised deck wheel console. And it's one of my favorites.
Yeah, and it's
one of my favorites.
It's a beautiful boat. Yes, sir.
And now it's got the new 300R on it.
300R, man.
And, but we can mix and match any engine combination just about you want.
Yeah.
Some people want 300, some wants 200, some wants 250s.
Yeah.
And but we're normally selling 250 and $300, you say.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff, Glenn. Glenn, you want to mention something about the pontoon boat sitting over there?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. Got a veranda pontoon boat here. Man, that thing is beautiful.
And I guess over here we get a close-up.
Yeah.
Everybody else has got plywood bottom. It's got what we call a cooling slot. It's all aluminum. It never soak up any moisture or water.
Yeah.
And probably last no reason why it wouldn't last a lifetime or two, you know.
Yep.
And we can get up in it.
More Outdoors. We're going to run inside and shoot some film. Don't forget Edgemore Outdoors over here on Edgemore Road. Hey folks, we're in here at Edgemore Outdoors. Man, the place has been packed with people. The reason being because this is the best sporting goods store this side of the Mississippi River. So if you want to get in here and get you something, you better come by. See Jim and Vance and Jeannie here at Edgemore Outdoors. They've got everything you might need to fish with, whether it be from a boat or from the bank or whatever. Rods, reels, the walls are lined with baits, tackle. I mean, just great store. Jim's been a sponsor of the show for a long time, and we really appreciate him and his family. And but do get by here and visit with them at Edgemore Outdoors. Live bait, just everything in the world. We'll just take a little quick stroll down through here. Jim said he was tired of seeing Vance on the TV every Thursday night, so he wanted me to get somebody besides him. I'll take that back. He didn't say that, but I thought about it. All right, Vance, what kind of special you got for us today?
Got all kinds of specials in here today.
Got all kinds of specials today. Anything in particular? Got a good sale on reels, rods?
We got some, we've been selling a bunch of these Corrados and Shimano SLX reels with the digital chips in them here lately.
Mm-hmm.
We got them in right and left. And
okay.
We got a few of them right now, but it's a good reel. One of them's $189.99 and the other one's $249.99.
That's guaranteed not to backlash, is that right?
Well, you need to set the reel correctly, but when you set the reel right, it is really hard to backlash them. It works really well. We tested them when they come out to make sure that everything worked good. We got them.
Okay.
And they've been going good for us here.
Good deal, Vance. And that price on that's what?
There's one of them is $189.99 and the other one's $249.99.
All right. All right, Vance, we appreciate it. Folks, do get by here and visit Edgemore Outdoors. Can't go wrong. I think you'll be well satisfied once you come in the door. Let people know what we represent.
That's what we're all about. We do try to do an honest day's work for the people, and we've got operators from all over the DOE sites, TVA sites, the outside contractors. We're just about everywhere you see a heavy piece of equipment, good chance that you'll see an operating engineer on it, rather it be Barnhard. I'd like to mention them, All Crane, and all of them that's signatory to us. We have over 100 contractors that's signatory to us, so I definitely appreciate those guys all the way in Chattanooga, Kingsport, Tullahoma, throughout all the way up to Johnson City. So we do cover a big area, and just let us know if we can be any help to local contractors that come through these areas. We'll definitely send you some people.
All right, David. I appreciate all those good words, and we'll get this on the air, and I want to thank you again.
Thank you.
All right.
Country Fresh Foods. You may not know the name, but you definitely know the taste. Our homemade fudge is shipped all over the country. Its quality is unmatched, and it's made right here in Oliver Springs. But you don't have to travel all over to enjoy it. You can get it right here at our retail store. Pamela Ann's Fudge, Candy, and Gifts. The highest quality fudge in a countless variety of flavors. And we also carry a variety of candy and unique gifts for you to enjoy. Come enjoy the taste you have loved for years at Pamela Ann's Fudge, Candy, and Gifts in Oliver Springs, a division of Country Fresh Foods.
let's go fishing. You know it's really great, let's go fishing. In the rivers and on the lakes, let's go fishing. It's easy when you try, floating on the water with good old Steve and Mike. Floating on the water with good old Steve and Mike.
Years I spent in vanity